Is anyone getting green cutting board fatigue? I feel like I've seen this green cutting board all over the place these days. I feel like this green cutting board is, it's like taking over. It's taking over everything. It's taking over my Instagram. It's taking over YouTube. You can't do 3 brain rot swipes without running into this green cutting board somewhere. It's everywhere. What a strange object to be haunting me. You wake up in the morning, you look in the mirror, and you blink, and for a second you just see green cutting board, and then you shake and you whip your head around. And you go, "Oh no, it's just me. It's just my reflection." I like to think that everyone is secretly just ripping off my code. He can do no wrong in my eyes. So I'm building an algorithm that doesn't rot your brain by Jack Conte, right? Anyone want to take a guess at how this video is paced? If the anti-algorithm video feels anti-algorithm.
Those algorithms are designed.
So the algorithm.
Part of attention is sometimes conflict, provocation.
Dude, there's probably been 100 cuts so far. You set the camera up and then you pretend to be doing something else, and then you pull one of these. Are you ready for this, you guys? What if I told you the internet was a place where...
and depressed, getting more polarized every day?
Does anybody have any idea why we're getting lonely and depressed? I have one guess.
Is being overrun by these attention-based algorithms controlled by tech companies.
Oh my gosh, no, anything but that. If there were attention-based algorithms, that would just mean every video would be paced like... The thing that's really funny about this video is I love the sentiment. It's like Jack says a lot in here. He says we're making an anti-algorithm feed or something like that. Obviously, I'm super about that idea. I just think it's like, and this is a little bit like doom and gloom of me to say, but it's a little bit like, oh my gosh, all these guys have guns now. Everyone's got a gun. That's why we're making an anti-gun knife to fight them with. It's like the proposition of an attention-based algorithm is that it maximizes attention. So you're not going to build anything that competes with it. It's just not going to happen. Like I said, I like the sentiment of this video. I think it's good. I think what he's saying is good. I'm agreeing with Jack Conte, and I think Jack Conte's a smart guy, but like, just go along with it. If you're not paying attention to the subject matter of the video, just go along with how funny this is.
Is being overrun by these.
I know this is the example of it, it's the example of it hurting our brains, but this entire video, his whole entire point is built off of this is what this whole video looks like. The first time I watched this video, dude, you just click around and like the frame that you land on, there's that stupid green cutting board. There's just a lot of irony. I always talk about how I have a hard time with irony, and there's just a lot of irony here, and it's hard for me. But I do love Jack Conte. I think it's a good point. Is it possible to derail the attention-based algorithm? I don't know. I sure hope so. I'm on their side. I indirectly give Patreon money, so we're all on the same team here. But geez, Louise, maybe we can slow down the edit a little bit. Okay, I gotta stop watching. Because I'm trying to do a big course correction, honestly. I think there have been things that I have made in my life, and I can still look back on them and I can go, I am so proud of that. And then on the other hand, I've also made stuff where I look at it and I just go, the world would be better off without this. It's not like necessarily a critique on the work itself. It's more just the fact that it's like, you really lock these two things together. You think, if I'm going to be a creative person, then that has to be how I make my money. And, generally when an artist does really well and they're selling their artwork, the way that materializes from a third person's point of view is you look in on that and you say, well, look how cool this is, they're making something that they want to make and they're making a living out of it. And we think because we are creative people that we are like entitled to that life. We're entitled to all of the benefits that come from being a great artist. But the truth is, like, so many of the greatest artists that have ever walked the face of the planet, they had zero motivation by what it could possibly get. They weren't motivated by some big fancy house. A lot of the most famous artists in history died died completely poor. And not to say that's the goal, but it is just to say that you can't, the two things are not equal. Being a good artist is not the same as like having the benefits that come from success in art. You can be one of the world's best and have absolutely no recognition. That's not only just true now in the age of the internet, but that's been true. That's been true since we've recorded, like since we've started signing pictures. Like it's just the way it's always been. It's just part of the game. Like some people, it just doesn't happen for, and that is not a reason to not do it. It's just not a reason to not do it. But because there's this, I don't know, capitalistic and societal expectation that if you work at something really hard, then you should have a lot to show for it. It makes you make all of these compromises and you say, oh yeah, I'll sign on with that brand. I'm happy to do that. Oh, I'll promote that camera. Why not? It looks good for me. It's good to put my name next to this big company or whatever. And I honestly think that if you are trying to, leave a legacy as an artist, especially in the most pure form, the answer to every single one of those things is no. And that sounds really harsh, and I do think there is such thing as like good ways for brands to collaborate and work with artists. It's not like that's never been done successfully, but I think the rate at which it happens and the normality that we sense around this sort of thing is like what has massively, massively diluted the landscape of the internet right now. Because you go on and you're like, I just want to watch something that feels sincere, period. And it's impossible to find. I feel like we kind of almost need to bring back like the idea that somebody can sell out, because now in the world where just the meta is like, everyone go get the bag, as long as you get the bag, my favorite creator, I want to be sure my favorite creator can support themselves. It's like, okay, yes, sure. But at what cost? Like to the point where your favorite creator doesn't do anything other than just sell you stuff. There's some line. There's a line that needs to be drawn, and I feel like there's some kind of equilibrium that needs to happen. That's my opinion. I could be wrong about that, but whatever, man.